Man, a new study just came out that says cheating is down 89%. Niggas is faithful now. Like, niggas don't
Where
even...
the fuck did you find this study?
Me and my homies did it. My homies did it.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle, Nadeska Akademiks, and Wayno here. My co-hosts are really nervous about the coronavirus. I think we're done with the jokes now. Ak is nervous. He's very concerned.
I'm still on the jokes.
I'm not scared of that shit. I'm gonna keep it a band.
Nah, I am scared of it, but I ain't really around no niggas, so like, I be in the crib all day. Like, y'all know, if something happened to me, it's one of y'all niggas. I gotta be honest.
I'm scared for my kids, but I ain't really.
After this, I'll go back in reclusion, hiding from Nicki and every other rapper who hates me.
Oh my God.
So I am good.
Are your kids still in school?
Yeah, they still in school.
Okay. I know
They
they're
haven't stopped school.
closing a lot of schools. A lot of people are getting to work from home. We're still here, though.
Not
for
in
now.
New York, though. Not in New York.
You say that. Complex HR is definitely concerned about this. We're going to take some precautions. But hopefully we're still good until our season wraps. We're going to go on break in early April anyway.
Is niggas clubbing and shit like that still?
Hell yeah, niggas sharing bottles, blunts. You think You think niggas is not passing blunts no more because of the coronavirus? Absolutely, niggas is passing blunts.
What?
Of course.
No, well, that's because niggas be hearing shit like black people are immune, which is not true.
All right, I was just kidding. We're obviously not done with the jokes. But look, people are taking this very seriously. So Coachella is supposed to be coming up in April, but they actually decided to push the festival back to October because of concerns around the virus, saying in a statement, we take the safety and health of our guests, staff, and community very seriously. So it's now going to be October 9th through 11th and the 16th to the 18th. So it's good that at least people are being careful. Obviously, they cancel South by Southwest as well.
Cancel them shits, man. Honestly, I do have a fear of crowds with this. Because again, just reading up a little bit on it, while like you have to fear what you're reading compared to like, you know, you compare it to your average quote unquote cold or flu or whatever. The mortality rate with that is pretty low. This shit is 1 out of 100 people getting clapped, so you don't want to be that one. At least before they find the cure.
Are these real stats, Zach?
No, that's a fact. That's
Okay.
that's a facto.
Okay. Yeah, obviously if you have other medical complications or you're older,
Wait, don't give a fuck.
it's even
He
harder.
like, he from Harlem. He like, yo, I'm in shootouts, nigga.
Oh, man.
I'm in shootouts. I'm gonna die to a coronavirus. Look at this guy.
I know that this is a very serious thing. Like my office is actually closed tomorrow for precautions.
Wait, no, you got kids. You of all people should be very like, if they could miss a week or two, get them out of here for real.
I am, but I'm just like, I don't know. It's like
He's trying to be bothered and he can't even be bothered. I respect it. Wayno's the guy you want to be around when shit hits the fan. He's gonna stay calm.
I'm gonna be watching y'all run.
I believe like in about 2-3 months they're gonna get a cure, but I feel bad for all the people getting infected now because they're dying before we get the cure. You get me? Like if niggas had the cure, nobody would care.
It's saying like 2% of the people that's catching this dying, right? It's only like 2%.
It's like 3.4%.
Yeah,
3.4.
All right, everybody, let's.
What?
You know what I mean? They say there's 10,000 people in Italy with it, which 1% or 2% is like 2,000. Well, actually, no, my math is wrong. Let me stop talking. 200 people. That's a lot.
Out of 10,000?
Yes.
It's not good that anyone's dying. I agree with you there. Oh man, all right, look. As if there's not enough happening in the world right now, 6ix9ine is coming home soon. So, according to the Federal
He got the
Bureau
cure.
of
The
Prisons-
New York virus.
He got the
come on.
cure. 6ix9ine got the cure. He told me.
Bro, he would survive anything. This would certainly not affect him. So he's apparently coming home on August 2nd. So he's reportedly also required to stay in contact with the U.S. Attorney's Office if they need any other info.
I ain't gonna lie, nah, wait, no, yo, why you? Look at this guy.
Wait, if they need any,
It's like a doctor's appointment. You got.
It's like a private line.
man.
They hit him directly on that
Listen,
phone.
man, let him live his life, man. I'm cool. Wait, whatever.
If 6ix9ine come back and he got a cure to the coronavirus, would you forgive him?
Oh my gosh. Why? Why are you like
but
this?
He didn't tell on me. I don't have to forgive him for anything. Like,
I feel like Wayno's like, yo, listen, man, we can't fuck with this guy. Listen, I mean, I think he was trying to get out of jail. Why y'all all looking at me like this? I got some.
Because now I'm already trying to like imagine what our life is gonna be like in August. Is he gonna just touch down and just go crazy?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm looking forward to. I'm not gonna lie, yo. I'm really looking forward to this because this is a great story. It's a great story. Like I've been more entertained by this whole 6ix9ine shit over the past like year, and not entertained, but it's not funny that shit is happening, negative things is happening. But I'm just saying, it's like everybody's drawn to the story. Everybody's looking at everything. 6ix9ine slips on the fucking ground. Story, headline news. Like, everybody's paying attention. So I want to see what happens when a nigga come home, but
I understand you're drawn to it, but I would think you don't like it though. Just because I know before he got locked up, I think the perspective you had, having seen things with other rappers and how they went about it and how things usually play out, you resented the idea that he played upon certain things that was pretty much really detrimental to everybody in the music industry. When he come out, what do you think he about to do? Like, just come out and just be like, yo, listen, man, I'm saved?
At this point, it feels like a waste.
I don't think maybe the same thing, but...
It just feels like a waste of time and energy to even have any other feeling than to just watch now and be entertained.
Akademiks, you stop it. You know damn well that when this nigga comes home, he's not gonna be on some I'm going to go see Joel Osteen and I'm going to save myself. And no, he's going to be wild. And I said that before he won it. But my biggest problem with him from before is he was just playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes for it. So now it's like, you know, I want to see what happens because it's just an interesting story.
Well, you know, and I guess this has been my takeaway is that I want to know how everybody feels about just how music is changing, because the reason why people are anticipating him getting out is because, like, there's really a buzz for him. So, like, you might have rappers feeling a certain way, you might have some industry heads feeling a certain way, street dudes feeling a certain type of way, but clearly the fans don't care, and I think this is definitely a shift from what people thought hip-hop was, and I want to know what everybody thinks about that.
That's why we're watching to see what really goes down. Like, is this really going to work out for him, or is he going to be hot for a minute because people are curious and it's done? How are you feeling about this, Akademiks?
How does this affect you? How's your heart right now?
Yo, he gonna come out and make a shit ton of money. Like, I mean, I don't feel it unless he's gonna give something to me. But you know, he's definitely gonna be successful.
Yeah,
and
doubt that.
I do believe, you know, and I have spoke to him like, yo, he thinks this is a second half of whatever the movie of his life is. You know, I'm hoping that it's more about, you know,
redemption.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's more about redemption more than, you know, like...
You're full of shit.
No, I'm serious.
He's hoping, but he knows there's no chance.
No. I'm hoping really it's more about that in terms of learning from things.
Is that what he sounds
past.
like when you talk to him right now? Does he sound like he's humbled, Akademiks, like he's changed?
Well, I've never really... Let me just be very honest. I've never talked to a jail inmate before this. Nigga, you go to jail, you're on your own. Real talk. So... maybe Wayno has a little bit more insight on that, you know, in terms of just speaking to someone who's incarcerated. Yeah. But he sounds like someone who really wants to be free. You feel me? So
wait. Wanting to be free, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. So when you talk to, you're not gonna talk to somebody who was thugging on the block, get locked up for 10 years, and when you call him on his 5th year, he's like, yeah, fuck all that. I'm still gonna do the same thing. They're gonna sound remorseful a little bit. Like, you don't do that time and don't get changed a bit. It's about what happens when you get out. Are you still that person who reflected on the time that you spent in jail, the mistakes you made that got you to jail, and do you change? Or do you be like, oh, fuck that shit, I'll do it again? So I'm hoping, like, what I hear is a lot of, hey, listen, yo, I can't wait to, like, yo, I really was blessed with a great opportunity. I can't wait to get back to music. But you never know. He might get back on some bullshit. Just don't blame me. I don't know.
6ix9ine is coming home as a government plant. Industry plant. He's a government plant.
I feel like there's a movie.
They're gonna plant him into another gang for him to take them down as well.
Yo.
Akademiks will be there chronicalizing everything.
Hey, I will just say this. I'm gonna just say this.
What?
You'll be surprised the rappers and artists that have contacted him and are very cool with him despite what they display publicly.
Niggas is trying to get money, man. I mean, listen, people is trying to get in whatever they could get out of the situation. That's for them. They got to live with that.
Wait, no, you as an executive.
Yes.
An artist that you signed.
Yes.
Pulls up and says, yo, I got the exclusive 6ix9ine feature. I need you to sign off on this and fund this budget. We about to do a video right when he gets out of jail. Now, knowing how you feel about it personally, do you then say, fuck my personal feelings, we collecting this bag?
Why you always come with these bullshit ass hypothetical questions?
No, because that's exactly what's happening. People, right now, like, I remember like when he first got locked up, I said, yo, because he's incarcerated. I say, yo, everybody hates you, nigga. Like everybody, like you're
still
done.
hate him.
So look,
though.
I know
Let's
you
not
won't
get
name
twisted.
names, but are these people like his peers, or are they sort of
course
the
his
older
peers.
No, I mean in terms of like, let's say generations of rappers. I don't know. Give us some details.
No,
People that we really respect, or people who are pretty new and still building.
Well, I don't know about the respect level for those artists, but those artists are definitely popping as
Interesting.
well.
Okay.
You get me?
All right.
And you know, like, they're not gonna publicly like, yo, I'm standing with them. But
Hey man, listen, I'd like to say I'm not in the streets or involved in any street activity, but I just don't support that guy. That's
what would you
just
do
that.
though? You gotta
Okay.
answer the hypothetical.
He doesn't want to answer this hypothetical
Nah.
question. It's all good.
I'm not.
Wayno got
He trying to,
his
you know what it
corporate
is? Because you know what he gonna say later?
No.
He gonna, no, wait a
You
second.
done it
He gonna
too.
post it.
Wayno?
Wait a second. This nigga's gonna post the clip later and be like, Wayno supports 6ix9ine's snitching actions. He's about the business. Fuck the culture.
No.
I'm not gonna be that nigga for you.
That's not it.
What?
It's because if and when he comes out and he collaborates with artists,
One of my artists. If he collabs with one of my artists.
No, well, any artist.
If it was that.
I don't want you to have the tone of, yo, why he's doing that, when given a position for even one of your artists who you think just that allure and buzz could help a lot, you would do the same thing. Like, this is the industry. Niggas is making
Akademiks,
money.
that's not my cross to bear. I'm cool on that.
I'm gonna get one of your
Listen.
name one of your artists. I'm gonna get one of them a fucking feature. I'm gonna get that nigga a real intro.
All right, new season of the 6ix9ine show dropping August 2nd. Stay tuned. Let's talk about someone who is trying to turn their life around, Meek Mill.
Is it? Go ahead.
Meek Mandela. Cut it out, bro.
Why y'all keep calling me Meek Mill?
I think that's
don't mean
amazing,
like
name. I love it. I don't mean any shade. I actually think it's just very funny. I love it.
People like, yo, why Nadeska throwing shade?
There's no shade. I think it's funny. I love Meek. Anyway, so he shared some video of authorities searching his private jet for the second time in 3 days. My apologies. So he's suggesting that he thinks someone may be purposely calling the cops on him. Apparently the first search happened over the weekend in Miami. So he did document that. What do you guys think? Is Meek being targeted here?
What you think is happening, Academic? Who you think is calling police on me?
Wayno, you think I know all the informants? You think I know all the snitches, Wayno?
Oh, I love you, Aki.
I know you cool with a
shameless.
few of them, but I'm just saying, like, who you think is? I mean,
You think I know all the CI? Wayno, if you don't get the fuck out. No, I'm gonna be very honest.
Okay.
So it's either two things,
All right.
and I'm a little bit like right now on the balance scale, I'm leaning towards the latter, but it's either we saw Wayne's plane got searched recently. Of course, we saw what happened with Juice WRLD, rest
Right.
in peace. I do think the feds are probably I think they're probably picking certain rappers who fly a lot private and probably saying, hey, listen, these dudes, they're using their private luxury plane as not only a mode just to transport them and their crew to
a
whatever
drug
city,
mule or something.
they're pretty much bringing drugs and other contraband on it, which was previously unchecked.
Yeah.
Again, to me, it was almost wild. What I heard was on Juice WRLD's plane.
Yeah.
After 9/11, I'm like, what?
Right.
Y'all niggas can get that on a plane?
Right.
But then people explain to me, oh, it's a private plane.
Right.
It's different. You're like, we ain't
So
going
with the
through-
private flight, they don't check at all once you're like loading on. They can only check when you land.
They
or
do.
that's
I
just
don't
when
know.
they try to
Wayno
catch you.
Wayno's on Jay-Z private.
I haven't been on a private plane in some years, but
This guy, bro.
but no, like they don't really check like that
At all.
But what I think it is yeah, I think that it's not just a targeted thing to Meek, but it doesn't help that Wayne got caught, with a couple of things in his bag. Of course, the Juice WRLD situation. I think that of course, they would love to catch Meek Mill. For everything that he's doing right now would be a great story for them.
Right.
People forget that, the federal government and any law enforcement, that they're businesses as well. And the bigger the bus, the bigger their bonuses get and their jobs go. So I think that, the targeting is just artists. Meek flies private. It's not that many artists that fly private. But Meek is one that flies private, and they would love to catch him because it would be a great story for them to catch him. But I'm pretty sure there's no drugs other than Tylenol around Meek.
Yeah.
Well,
You got headaches?
Smart.
Anyway, but no, I would say this though, right? So that was my first point. So
Okay.
it's a wide net casted that's definitely profiling rappers.
Right.
But the second thing is, I do believe that I don't know where this would be coming from, but I get, and I know you say Meek Mandela, and I don't know, it's tongue in cheek a little bit, I would imagine, but
No, just because he's changed his ways and, you know, he's trying to do good for the community.
So
I think it's great.
Quentin said the opposite.
Okay,
Anyway,
it's all right.
Anyway, no, what I'm saying is that I do believe that the feds are kind of looking at Meek with
Because of all of his activism, you think?
Yes,
Okay.
I do think so. Like, you have to imagine when you think about some of, and I really shudder to even say the words and compare him to people like a Malcolm X or a Martin Luther King.
That too, yeah.
But like some of the people who have tried to institute change in this country that are people of color, the feds have looked at them like, oh nigga, you ain't gonna miss $1 in your taxes.
Out of this country too, like Mandela. That's why I think the name's actually good.
No, but my dad used to tell me that like you can't just help your people. It's like especially when you black, like they just turn a certain eye, like like that's too. You trying to actually do good now? Like what's up with that? So.
And yeah, I do think that the federal authorities is trying to make sure that it's not a, hey, do what I say, but not as I do. They're trying to make sure he's fully pretty much now changed his life. But also like the way they're kind of like doing it, I do believe that they feel like he's about to slip up and they need that slip up.
So what do you think him sort of very publicly showing people, posting on Instagram, like, hey, this is what's happening. Do you think that's good then? Does that make the feds want to back off or? That's
not gonna make them want to back off, but I think like it's just for him to bring awareness, to use his platform to bring a little bit of awareness. But yeah, like that's not gonna stop happening. I don't, like you said, they want to catch him doing something, but come on, imagine Meek getting caught doing anything. He's come way too far.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, it would derail a lot of the things he's done.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But they would love. That's what I'm saying. For the law enforcement would love that because again, makes a story for them, brings in more business for them. Like that's good for them. But at the same time, it's like as long as he's doing what he's supposed to do, he don't got nothing to worry about. Right. They're just wasting their time.
Hopefully he keeps moving smart.
And you might say they're wasting time, but I don't think they think they're wasting time. Like let me then put on my little conspiracy hat. Which
put on your cop hat.
Yeah.
Right.
What is this guy talking about? No. My conspiracy hat, which would say this, right? Meek is a part of the Reform Alliance. I don't know if I'm saying the right term. I know
what you're getting at.
Yeah, but he's pretty much a part of that. You know, him, Jay-Z, you have Robert Kraft, Michael Rubin. They're moving in a straight and narrow shit. I could imagine their taxes are going over. Like, niggas is going over with a fucking fine teeth comb. Like, real talk. But, like, with him, he's one of the also public faces. They're looking at him to say, okay, what can we find on him? And the way he's moving, like he's still operating as a rapper, he's still trying to have a career. Like he's not just an activist. It puts him in a very precarious position. So
cool. Well, I think that's why he's being transparent with the fans, so we know what's going on. We appreciate it, Meek. Stay smart. Don't let them catch you doing nothing crazy.
Right. And by the way, he's going at prisons.
Right.
He's basically working against a lot of things that the government's going for. So it's not too far-fetched that another one of their agencies are, quote unquote, subtly, actively investigating them.
The prison industrial complex. You know how all the sanitizer is sold out because of the virus? I read that they're making the prisoners mass produce them now, which is crazy.
It's not being like fucking like a conspiracy theorist when you see someone in the media and then you see the feds pick him up. Like, it's related. Like, the feds do have social media. They do try to control the narrative. They're not going to let someone who they feel are doing crimes get too big. It's no secret that, like, the Nicki Minaj's husband's arrest is that big. It's no secret that some of the things that we'll talk about even later, and I'll mention, you see the media, then they lock someone up.
So I'm watching Akademiks closely. Wondering if he wears a wire when he leaves here. Let's keep it moving.
What's wrong with this nigga Wayno, man?
I don't know.
That must be that Harlem shit.
I don't know if I trust Akademiks.
You said you might know all the informants, bro.
No, Wayno might know all the information. Wayno's from Harlem. Ain't the biggest snitches in New York from Harlem?
What?
Watch your mouth now.
All right, let's move on.
I'm just saying, bro.
On a lighter note,
here's
Jay at a Clippers and Lakers game shaking off a man who tried to put his arm around him. This is how the pros do it. He leaned all the way into that one.
Yeah.
Where was Tata? Ain't that a nigga with the purpose? Where's he? No, I do have to say though, like,
what?
I don't know who that person is. Like, that person was probably important. We were probably treating him like he's shit.
No, he's definitely
Someone very,
He
very
might even be a fucking billionaire. I looked
Yeah.
at him like, yo, this bum-looking nigga that's on the floor with Jay, he might be a billionaire too. But again, Jay don't know him. You know, again, shit, yo, it's a coronavirus time. Like, to keep it real, in China, they doing some like kid and play shit with their feet. They're not doing handshakes or like high fives. Fuck that.
I don't know if they're really going with. I think that they're trolling, having fun, just like everybody else and people.
Who?
The people in China, I seen that too. Like, you know them doing the little kick shit.
Nah,
but they was doing it on TikTok. That's what I'm saying. It's like
they serious.
They doing that shit. They doing that shit.
Yo, Wayno don't believe nothing about his virus, man. Yo, Wayno, you.
I'm not saying I don't believe nothing about the virus.
He's not being an alarmist.
Yo, my brother was in like,
alarmist.
yo, I got a group text with my family, right? My brother was like, yo, like he was laughing in the group text, like, yo, yeah, that coronavirus ain't catch nobody black yet. I was like, yo, that shit ain't serious. It's government propaganda.
Oh my God.
Soon as my mom, who works at the hospital, says, I ain't gonna lie, somebody just died here. He changed his whole tone. The nigga's giving out like PSA warnings. All I'm saying, Wayne, just know, shit's serious, bro. Shit's
It
serious.
is, man. It is. But yeah, don't put your arm around me either. We ain't cool like that. I ain't for real. I ain't with all
Roddy
that.
Ricch said that. That's good.
Yeah, he's right. I ain't with all that. Not at all.
All right, so we had Lil Baby on the show yesterday talking about his new project. So he's obviously been performing a lot of shows. He did a concert in Alabama this weekend that got shut down after shots were fired inside the venue. Reportedly, one person was hospitalized, no suspects in custody. And over the weekend, there was also a rumor floating around that Baby's crew might have jumped Offset. He did deny this on Instagram. I mean, what do you guys think? It seems like there's always been great relationships there.
I've kind of looked at this and I really regret not asking him because I really got like abreast of this like in the last like day or so. I feel like something happened. It feels like from all the things I'm seeing him say on all his press runs, and I had to go back, and everything I'm seeing when it comes to at least Offset, I think there is a strained relationship. Unfortunately, because we're in the music industry, we tend to publicize everything and exploit it and make it worse. We pick at a scab till it starts to bleed again, right? And I do believe P's trying his best to like probably, you know, mend relationships behind the scene because honestly, yo, if you're like the fucking like Lakers dynasty that's like three-peating, like you don't want to break it up because your superstar A and superstar B are complaining about who's the real man of the town. You want to like, as a coach or as an owner, you want to kind of make sure you smooth down a relationship. I think that's going on right now. Okay. But did something happen? Something absolutely happened. To what extent? I don't know. But it's clear that they aren't on perfect accord, and I don't expect them to admit it either, though, because. You know, it's house money at this point. Like, they're winning.
I mean, I don't know what happened, but I do like the way it's being handled. It seems a little bit more internal as opposed to, I mean, we know this rumor, but we haven't seen like Offset come out and do some crazy video or Baby come out and do some crazy video, even their peoples, you know. I mean, hopefully that shit gets resolved if something actually did happen. But who knows?
Yeah.
You know?
I do want to say this is the difference between New York and Atlanta. From like, you know, we always thought Atlanta was just always just like, yo, together, they're all friends. And, you know, it was when we started bringing a lot of like.
You think that though?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what.
Them niggas have shootouts.
That's what I'm saying. No, we thought that because we're like, yo, they're not like making Instagram videos or publicly beefing.
Yeah.
Then, you know, I think we brought a couple like Atlanta rappers on here, and I just even seen them speak outside of here, and I'm like, they do have issues. They just don't bring it to the music.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
we had a fan question about this, asking why do we think Atlanta rappers have so much camaraderie versus other cities?
From what I hear, is a lot of politics there too. They don't fuck with each other like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think. They really don't. Like
they just don't bring it to the music.
They don't come into music, but I think that's because they just handle shit a certain way. I think like, you know, and even with New York, there's a lot of shit that happens in New York that nobody knows about, but we haven't seen too much of people jumping on IG to diss each other because like that shit is really small. Atlanta is super duper small, and I ain't gonna front. Them niggas got gun licenses down there like candy. You know, like you can't just be playing around like that, running back and forth through the street. But yeah, everybody's not cool there.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they do handle it. I think they handle it a little bit more internally because ultimately, the more shit that happens there that divides them, then they lose their footing on the game.
Right.
You know?
And also, I do think the way how 50 like positioned beef here, Like, I don't think they do it there. Like, for example, like 50 would, okay, I'm beefing with you. Say Nadeska is a producer and she works with you. All right,
fuck you too.
If you won't work with him while I'm beefing, then fuck you too. But I think in Atlanta, it's like the producers are allowed to do whatever the fuck they want. Like, they keep street beef out of music, which it should be like that, honestly.
Respectable.
To an extent, man.
All right. Well, I mean, go check out the interview with.
What you know, Wayno?
With Lil Baby.
Informant Wayno, what you know, bro?
You fucking dirty, man.
You from Harlem?
Yo,
Watch
stop
Paid in
saying
Full.
that, man.
I watch Paid in Full.
Yeah, you know, he running around here pulling up on people too, right?
Ooh.
All right, go ahead. Keep speaking his name. Like Candyman, that motherfucker gonna pop up on you.
Like
Straight up.
Candyman.
You know who you talking about?
I'm talking about the movie.
All right,
Yeah, the
man,
movie's based on true events.
Go.
Really?
Yes.
Go check out the Lil Baby interview. I think one thing I definitely took away from him was, it's like you guys said, he's like, the money and the business comes first. So he doesn't want beef to ever get in the way. It was a good conversation.
Like the humbleness.
So last week we were talking about Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty. He was facing some federal charges after not registering as a sex offender in California. I think those charges were dropped, but he might still be facing old charges from the same case. But anyway, during a Tuesday episode of the Wendy Williams show, Wendy warns Nicki that she thinks her husband is actually ruining her reputation because of all of his issues. Take a look.
Apparently, the way the show is going today, we did not have enough time to get to Nicki Minaj's brother. But let me tell you something, Nicki. That's going to be my first story tomorrow, and I'm going to lead with this. You should have never married him. Because now you've ruined everything about what your brand could be. Again, you're never going to stand a chance when you're with a man who pulls a knife at rape point, you know, and you're never going to stay a molester, a registered sex offender who wasn't even, you're never going to stand a chance with John Q. Public, because there's only one thing worse than touching children and pulling knives, and that's murder. By the way, he did go to jail for manslaughter. I made a mistake and called Nicki Minaj's brother instead of husband, but the brother's already in jail for, and so.
Okay. So yeah, she clarified at the end she meant to say Nicki's husband from jump. But anyway, what do you guys think? You're a brand expert and you're a big Wendy fan. Do you agree with her here?
Wendy's a GOAT, 100%. I do want to say, like, so musically, I don't think like this type of stuff tarnishes that. You know, I think more her antics in terms of like, you know, like she's kind of she's been losing it. Like with the Travis Scott thing, it made it very clear that she may have not been that chick or that person in music anymore. Like the way she reacted to BB number two, to Astroworld. But like these type of things, I do think maybe overall, it kind of dampens how people look at her, because how people looked at her brand in terms of, you know, she was like that woman's advocate, and whether it was like, yo, telling women like, yo, we could have an attitude and do whatever these niggas do. I do think her standing up for women a lot is a little bit depreciated when you think about some of the choices she's made with the people she's with, you know, and even the accusations she made, you know, and for me, I leave it there. I usually start thinking like, yo, she could be a victim as well, so I don't really blame her. So, you know, but it does look like, hey, listen, you know, maybe there's more to be explored there. Again, you can't choose who your brother is. Yeah. You know, I don't see her out here like, oh, he's innocent, so you can't really blame her for that. And, you know, the person who she picks for her husband, again, I'm also not judging that as much, but, you know, some of the things around it and some of the behavior that she even is trying to promote, like, it's a bad look that she was on Queen Radio saying, anybody that don't like me, my husband is going to pull up on you, knowing that he's supposed to be a registered sex offender. He is now. And also he has a manslaughter case. So, you know, like you want to get away from that type of stuff. That's never going to like play well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the way Wendy said it, by the way, and you know, again, I love Wendy. Wendy's a legend. I think for some people, and especially for women, there's a triggering. It triggers certain emotions when you actually read the cases of some of these things. Mm-hmm. Knife point, rape, like that sounds horrific. Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, Nicki has to bear the cross for that, because you know these are the people who, you know, at least in this case, she's married to.
Yes, perception definitely plays into reality, whether you like it or not, and like it's fucked up. But guilty by association is how people play shit out when they discuss things. It's like, you know, yeah, she can't help, you know, who her brother is, and she really can't help who she loved. You know what I mean? And whatever the intricacies of the case are, that's their business. Nobody's not going to care about that. They're going to care about the book. They're going to care about the cover before they read the book. So while there may be all types of things that describe what happened in his case, etc., on paper, you know how people is looking at it. It does, you know. For me, I only like Nicki for her music. I try to keep myself away from all the other shit that's going on in people's lives. But for the most part, yeah, it's like that does make other brands, like I told me before, like when certain artists need to sustain, they get aligned with other brands. That does make another brand of companies that would potentially do shit with you say, let me chill, because they can't afford to have their name next to something that's next to something else. So it does hurt her a bit.
It also reminds me of, and I might have because I don't even know if I was born at this point. I think I was, but like it reminds me of, even though it's a little bit different situation, Whitney Houston. You know, Whitney Houston was supposedly a media darling. People loved her. And when she aligned herself with Bobby Brown, a lot of people looked at her brand changing for the worse because of some of the stuff he was allegedly involved with and some of the stuff they got involved with later. So, you know, I look at that, you know, for me, I don't think Nicki's making a brand play with this, with being with homie. Like, I think she really just said love. And for that, like, you can't just fault someone because they're like a public figure that they're gonna give up like their own personal enjoyment and happiness just to make you happy. They could be like, they have a clean brand. So we'll see.
It's unfortunate, man. But we could talk about some music now. So we also had Jadakiss on the show recently. Last Friday, he dropped his 5th album, Ignatius, on Def Jam. You know, features from people like Pusha T, 2 Chainz, Rick Ross, and more. So the lead single from this was Kisses to the Sky. Now, we know he talked a lot about this. This album is tribute to someone who was very, very close to him. So I don't think we're trying to like super rate or rank this album, you know what I mean? He talked a lot about him even liking 2 Chainz, so he thought he would enjoy that feature. So what did you guys feel about this, you know, as a tribute album? It sounded like it was very therapeutic for him.
Yeah, it really felt like he had to get a lot off of his chest. I mean, like Jadakiss albums, Jadakiss, he always kind of structures his albums the same kind of way. Like he always has like, you know, the one political song, the one down south song, the back and forth song with Styles, the one lock song, the girl song. He kind of strayed away from all of that. This album, I don't think that he's like sad, but I felt like this album was really hard for him to make. You could really hear it in like his subject matter, what he's talking about. And remember when he was here, he said like, you know, he feels like Ice Pick left him because he didn't let him know prior. But I do respect him for paying it forward. Also, I got to shout out, like one of my close friends produced like 9 records on this. So my man Buddha and Grants, they produced a lot on here. I think that it's been different for Kiss because he only worked with a small team of producers. I mean, Hitmakers on here as well. The joint with Ty Dolla $ign, like that shit is really dope. The joint with, it's not many times where Jadakiss has a feature, and I ain't gonna lie, we gonna talk about this when Kiss come back, whatever he does, but 2 Chainz had a crazy verse than Kiss, you know what I mean? And he said that was one of the requests that Pick had for him. You know, me personally, I knew Ice Pick. So like he was saying here, like if you knew him, these are the things that he always wanted me to do that I never did. So I really enjoyed this album. Like I really enjoyed this album. Even Jada's son, me and him had a conversation one day. He was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like this is one of his best albums because it is personal to him. But it's like, even though it's out, it feels like this thing he let you into. Like he gave you the key to open this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like I really fuck with this. You know what I mean? But I do want to hear Jada getting back to being old Jada. Right. But it does feel like...
He said he needed to put this tribute out, and then he feels like he could go back to...
Absolutely.
Having a conversation with him, and truthfully, and I'll put out there, I haven't really fully delved into like the entire project, and it's really blame Uzi. But still, like in reality, you know, when he came up here and he was really talking about like just his relationship with Pick, and I know I felt like there was a lot of emotion there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of emotion there. Like it was just, he wasn't talking music no more. He wasn't talking the business of music. He wasn't talking the industry shit. He was just talking, hey, I hope I'm making this project for somebody who they passed and it deeply affected me, and I hope this is what they would always want. And from seeing that, like, I have to say, like, he pretty much did everything to pay tribute to someone who's been close and influential in his career.
Yeah.
I think in most creators' careers, you get to that point of realizing what is all this for. Whether it's just putting out albums, or you're just trying to just please fans, or you're just trying to rake in the money. And I think this album, he literally was just like, man, it's for these people who really matter to me.
Right.
And he's like, y'all might not even like it. And I hear people with good reviews of it, but he's not making it for you to be pleased about it.
Right.
He did things differently. He chose features. Structured it as he would thought his mans would like. And honestly, I feel like this is a project that most artists have to get out for them to get back to them.
Right.
So, again, I'm gonna delve into it a little bit more, but from what I heard, and I'm telling you, every time he spoke about it, we asked him a lot of questions, wasn't even related to Pick, but then he always brought it back to him.
Yeah.
Right.
This was super personal. This is something I would never have a critique about, because as an artist, this happens.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Go check out the project. I mean, Kiss said he would actually come back as he watches the show and
of course
wants to argue with them
I
all
want
the
Kiss
time.
to come back talk some shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
fun
episode whenever he's ready to come back. And we're gonna talk about Megan Thee Stallion's project Sugar. How do you say it, Ak?
Sugar.
We're gonna talk about that one.
Oh my God.
About that one tomorrow. Let's end with this. So Yachty's gearing up to release his new album. So on Monday he dropped a new song called Oprah's Bank Account featuring Drake and DaBaby. He dropped a 9-minute visual to go with it, directed by director X. So in it he's dressing up as Oprah, impersonating her, doing interviews with Drake and Baby. It's pretty funny. Complex said he originally wanted to have Lizzo on the record, but she never got back to him. And this is him gearing up to drop Lil Boat 3, which he says is coming very soon. What do you guys think about Yachty's return?
I know he wanted Lizzo. He could have hit my line. I would have got her on the phone for him.
Oh, you got it? Oh.
Anyway, chill out, relax. Anyway, Oprah's bank account. I do think Yachty's in a very precarious position. QC, even though we discuss maybe possible turmoil, right? But still, they're having a lot of success across the board. He's one of the guys who I feel have gotten hot and then kind of cold probably 3 to 4 times ever since he came out in 2015, 2016. I do think in the last year or so, people have been looking at him to say, hey, we see the Migos doing all these things. You see the Migos crossed over from the music and dominating the culture stuff to doing some of the brand stuff. And one of the things we used to say, the reason why Yachty's always good, because he's the brand guy.
Right.
They doing the brand guy.
But hasn't he been doing other things behind the scenes, like writing and stuff like that?
Okay, so writing, act up, cool. But I think we've been looking at him are those things just disguises that you're done musically? And we see Quavo, whether he's popping up on a huge record with I forgot, is he on Sunflower? No, that's Whaley.
He's on the record with Justin Bieber, one of the top 10 records in the country, though, I think.
But that's what I'm saying. So whether it's even though they haven't showed up as a group recently on either a song or whatever, they're all doing their things musically and they're branching out. So we look at them and we're like, we're good until whenever y'all give us Culture 3. We see Lil Baby, he's having his moment.
Right.
We see the City Girls, JT, just as yesterday, just got off, she got out of the halfway house.
And she's looking spectacular right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, Wayno.
No, I'm just saying, listen, I love black women. She looks very good. She looks very good.
Uzi won't like that.
Guys, Wayno's also working on his body for the summer. He hasn't mentioned that too. Wayno is on his fitness right now. He's working on the 6-pack. More soon.
Oh man.
All right, sorry, I continue.
But so I do think Yachty's the question mark to say, is he gonna continue? Is he gonna level up? By the way, keep in mind, Yachty's peer is Uzi. Look what Uzi's doing. Maybe 325? Yachty, you're his peer. What are you gonna be doing? So I think there's a lot of pressure there, and for him to come on the track with DaBaby and Drake, that's bringing the heavyweights out.
I feel you, but Yachty. So I think that's a little bit unfair. Only because Yachty and Uzi, they was in the same class, but Uzi has far surpassed everybody that he was on the XXL cover with, right? And not that everybody isn't doing their thing, but I felt like Uzi has become this cult-like figure that everybody follows. With Yachty, I'm not mad at Yachty taking time off and coming back, because people thought that Yachty would be done in 1 year. They who's this dark-skinned kid with red hair? Nobody's fucking with that, right?
It's interesting you say that, because remember when Yachty came out, Yachty had Broccoli, Yachty had One Night, Yachty had Minnesota. He had bigger hits at least at
that time than Uzi.
Uzi had Money Longer and a couple.
But I mean, I think with Yachty is also, you got to look at Yachty. When he did come out originally, he was 20 years old, right? Like it's like 4 or 5 years later, like he's going through changes. You know what I mean? Just as a person, I think that a lot of the direction we expected him to have early on is kind of shifted. And when I first saw the video, yeah, I was, I was thrown off because I'm like, why the fuck is Yachty wearing a dress, right? But like after watching the video,
Women's Month, nigga.
I ain't gonna say nothing because we gonna get flagged if I say so. Let me not even go there. But with Yachty, with Yachty, like, and that's another thing. Even with Drake, it's like seeing Drake being a little bit open to these more funny storytelling videos, like the shit with him and Chris Brown, the shit with him and Future.
Finally saw that shit's hilarious.
You know what I mean? Even the Yachty was in Life is Good as well. Remember, like working in the fake Apple store. So it's like I feel like Yachty is probably he looks more like he's gonna start fucking with film a bit more. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure Little X had a lot of he directed the video, had a lot of shit in there, but I'm pretty sure Yachty penned some stuff into the treatment as to how he wanted it to go. And when you watch the video, the shit is pretty dope. So I think that Yachty is probably will eventually find his next thing that subsides with his music, and it'll probably be acting. Cause he seems like a funny dude.
Did that show ever come out? Remember he had signed a deal for that, was it an MTV show or something? I'm kind of blanking on what it was right now.
He did drop How High too.
Yeah.
How High the movie?
But see, the reason why I didn't like the How High, because it's like, to me, it's like doing Friday without Ice Cube and fucking, I mean, of course, we had to get used to Chris Tucker. I mean, get used to Mike Epps.
If they slightly change the name and the brand, like, yo, these are the cousins, but it's not called How High, maybe.
But no, I couldn't. Method Man and Redman, like that's only supposed to be with Method Man and Redman, bro. It's like, so, and a lot of people's personal to that, and I think that Yachty probably caught a lot of unfair backlash because it had been a whole different genre, not a different genre, but it's been a whole different story with the same type of like weed shit.
Yeah, too nostalgic to fuck with. But it's cool that he has the intention to do that. I agree with you. He's gonna transition into other greater things. Also looking forward to the album.
Looking forward to it too.
100%. I believe Yachty, like, yo.
Yachty.
Well, I think Yachty, the reason why like he's in this position is because when he initially came out, he took the arrows that Uzi didn't. He took the arrows for all that class. Remember, that was the class.
Yeah, that was
That's
the
why
internet class.
I tweeted out recently where people were like, that was a class of people like, yo, these are the little niggas.
Right.
And they're gonna be out of here in 3 years. That's 2015, 2016. We're in 2020.
Yeah, that's a fact.
5 years
Because
later.
Uzi didn't come up to Everyday Struggle and get yelled at by Joe.
Yeah.
That was Yachty. He took all of those.
Yeah, he did.
Uzi didn't do that. Uzi did one thing. He went up to Hot 97 and got played by Ebro with the freestyle. But ever since then, it fell back. Yachty took the Biggie and knowledge of hip hop shit.
Biggie, right.
Like
the rapping on radio, then trying to go to Funk Master Flex to prove that he could rap and all that other shit.
He took a lot of arrows, and it's been kind of tumultuous for him at least. But I do think that this song is paying some of the good favor he's had in the game even forward. Like he was in another thing with Drake, whether I don't know if it was a Sprite commercial, it was like in Hotline, like he made a cameo in one of Drake's music videos before. So with that and the other video you said,
Life is Good.
Life is Good. I think he was probably like, yo. And by the way, I seen him at Complex Con. They say, album's almost ready. I'm waiting for this verse from Drake, and obviously got it. I hope he's coming with it.
You know the thing about Yachty too? He's just really a good guy.
He's so cool, yeah.
Like he's a good guy, and I think that's like half the battle most times. I even said it to him. I had to warm up to him as an artist. When I first met him in like 2016, like being around the cover and all that, I didn't get it. Like I really didn't get it. I was one of the old niggas that was like, the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? But like understanding who he is, and like I said, for him to be the type of artist he is, he sneaks a lot of shit in there. Like Minnesota, I love the hook on Minnesota because it's just like, it describes so many things with kids. You need to stay up out the streets if you can't get the heat because this shit get cold like Minnesota. It's like, he has a way of sneaking some real shit into it, but like I said, the presentation, who he is, Yachty might have to cut his hair and get waves.
Nah, but I feel like we've accepted him at this point. Do you feel like it's worth it? Now you just said we all, we accepted him. I don't think keep your hair.
I was really gonna ask you, I think the nice guy thing might be hurting him. Like,
why?
Uzi's playing on devil imagery, he's like mysterious, he don't talk to nobody, and like because of that, there's almost like more of allure by the fans. Like Yachty just seems like a really nice guy, and sometimes like people like, they disregard that person because
he's a pushover though. I don't see him as. But I like
not necessarily that.
I like in the video though that like Drake is even playing off of that with him talking about him like, yeah, that guy should never drop music again. Like, you know what I mean? Like nobody should ever hear him ever again in the world. I think like that is a play on how he's about to come with his next album. And for me, I think that that's smart.
My last thought, I'm glad he's going back to the melodic shit because I do think rappers like him and Uzi, they blow up. They really came up off the melodic shit. You know, talks during the years is like, these guys can't rap. Uzi's rapping like a motherfucker on this album. Like, and I'm like, yo, he's trying to. Wait, no, why you give me that look, nigga?
Rapping like a motherfucker.
No, he's trying to rap more than he's saying. And trust me,
let's talk about Yachty and just leave that alone.
The generation that loves
rapping like
well, if you look at Summer Songs 1 and 2, like he starts to spit more bars.
Okay.
It's about singing.
So in summer, we're all really excited for this new album. We want him to do great things.
I want him to sing more.
Sing more for Akademiks. All the things he's been through, it's great. It builds strong character. You know what I mean? It helps in the long run. Right. That is our show for today. We'll see you guys here tomorrow. Make sure you wash your hands for 20 seconds. Use some disinfectant.
Do we have a 20 seconds moment of silence? Run to the bathroom.
Come on, man.
Bro.
For real.